so on and so forth. Do we have a phone call? Let's go to Doyle. You're on the Paul Harrell Program. Go ahead, sir. What do you want to say?
Oh, I just want to tell you, I just didn't know anything about it. I hadn't read the paper today, but I've been listening to your program here, and it infuriates me. And I've lived here all my life. I'm 62 years old. That this can happen, and this close to Jonesboro where I live. It just infuriates me. Now, like I was telling the other gentleman there, I know we're a republic, but we still have majority rule. What happened to majority rule?
Yeah.
And another thing, down in Texas today, I saw on Fox News where this town was ordered by the ACLU to take down the nativity scene which they had in their courthouse for the last 200 years. I want them to tell what they told them. They wrote them a letter, and they wrote to take it down. Mm-hmm. Their letter back to them was, when hell freezes over. That's what I want to see for leadership in this country.
Yeah, well, it's going to start locally. If you want leadership to say that and to take a stand locally, that's where it has to start, in my opinion. One person making a good decision, it provides the opportunity for more people to make positive decisions as well. And, my whole thing is this. People want to say that America's just been the same. That, everyone that's saying, oh, we've got to do something, we're going too far left. And then the people on the left say, what are you talking about? Or the people in the middle say, oh, you're crazy. You're just a sensationalist. My response to that is, here locally, Kay Williams, the counselor who was told to take the nativity scene down, she's been doing it for 20 years. It's been up for 20 years. So, was it okay last year? Well, apparently it was. Was it okay the year before that? Apparently it was. Was it okay 18 years before that? Yes, it was. Now, all of a sudden, you just said 200 years, and now somebody has a problem with it. And see, and so you have to say, well, if that's what our ancestors thought 200 years ago, it was surely important to them. And we are clearly, those who deny that we're moving away from the values of the ones that came before us, I mean, they can be proven wrong just by those simple examples.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I think that it's a wonderful life story. It's more than a story. If that lady wants some support, I believe if she thought Mr. Bailey got support,
yeah.
I believe in this section of the country, if she wanted people standing behind her, with Mr. Bailey, that would be minute compared to what she would get.
You know what? You might be right, Doyle. You might be right. I appreciate the phone call, sir. Thank you so much for listening. Rodney, you're on the Paul Harrell Program. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Doing good.
One thing I want to mention, you're mentioning a lot about our founding fathers and their feelings on religion. Did George Washington not say in the Treaty of Tripoli that this nation was by no means founded on the Christian religion?
I suppose. Go on. What's your point?
Okay, well, I mean, it's just I'm probably in the minority here.
Okay.
Because I'm a conservative as well as an atheist.
Okay.
And I'm by no means a militant atheist. I believe the nativity scene, for example, doesn't bother me at all. Deposit, please. But one thing that does, every time I hear someone say, well, this nation was founded on Christian, I realize our founding fathers were deists or Christians, but, George Washington himself stated that it was not founded on the Christian religion. Right, not founded on any religion.
Right, no, I agree it wasn't founded on a religion, but it was most assuredly, sir, founded on the principles that are found in those religions, and they're reflected and celebrated and have been by the citizens of this nation. I mean, let's just be honest here. I mean, if you look at what Western civilization as a whole is based on, it's based on critical thought and the golden rule. And you got to ask yourself, well, where's the golden rule come from? Well, it obviously comes from our religious beliefs and institutions. The idea that you want to treat somebody the way that you would want to be treated. I mean, so it's from critical thought, and it's from the golden rule that we derive our most powerful principle, that's freedom. And you can say what you want to, but I detailed a little bit of this before. You look at the Protestant Reformation, and you look at the idea that all of a sudden people start believing, and you may not believe, sir, and I respect your right to do that, but you start people believing that instead of a priest absolving you of your sins. You can do it as an individual. Not only can you do it as an individual, but you come to this belief that we're all judged individually in the eyes of God. And then people start asking the question, sir, well, why is the king have some sort of divine blood right? And the wheels start turning. And once the wheels start turning, you eventually have pilgrims that want to pursue their own religious freedom from an oppressive state. And they come over here and they work their butts off. And they produce people who are independent, who are self-reliant, and who happen to be Christians, who happen to be Protestants, and then there's Baptists, and then there's Methodists, and then there's Quakers, and there's all these people. And they came together, and they founded a country based on the principles that are found in a lot of Christian or a lot of Christian religions, and it's Christian Judeo philosophy. So
I believe the golden rule can be found in numerous religions, not just the Christian religion.
I will agree with you, sir, but do you at least see the point that I'm making?
Oh, and I do agree. Like I said, I'm not someone that wants the nativity thing. Doesn't bother me at all. The bus, do what you want, and I don't want anyone oppressing my beliefs or vice versa, or whatever. And so, I can see that they're not. As you mentioned earlier, that someone had stated they wouldn't want a preacher teaching their class. That's what would bother me. Is that Christianity and Christmas is from a combination, or Christmas especially, is from a combination of many different old world religions.
Let me stop you there. Where do you want society to get morals, sir? I mean, I'm just curious.
Do you not think you can be a good person without having religion?
You obviously can be a good person today and not believe in religion. Yeah, because we have, because of religion and because of a belief in God, we believe that that there is a right and a wrong. But
I would say throughout history, even you mentioned the pilgrims. Surely there were pilgrims that came for freedom from religion, as well as freedom of religion.
Well, I think you need to look up who the pilgrims. I think you need to look up who the pilgrims were.
I know who the pilgrims were.
But
atheism has existed just as long as the religion has. As long as you've had someone saying there is a God, you've had someone saying there's not.
I can understand what you're saying. I'm asking you where morals come from. You just think morals come. Where do they come from, sir? Do they just are we just born with a moral conscience? You believe we're just?
Well, I mean, there's Christians that have horrible morals.
You're right. Okay, that didn't answer my question. Do you believe
it comes from how you're brought up, how you're taught?
Okay, there you go. But where do the parents get it? Where do the parents get it? The funny thing is, I don't have to teach. When I grew up, my parents didn't have to teach me to steal. It's pretty funny.
Exactly.
They had to teach me not to steal. But I was kind of just naturally born. If somebody had something else that I wanted, I had this natural inclination that I could just go over and take it. Isn't that weird?
Natural instinct to harm other people?
Actually, yeah. I did, especially if they weren't going to give me what I wanted. I did have a natural instinct to harm them and push them down and kick them. And I had to be taught. I had to be taught not to do those things, sir.
You can't say that society in itself, though, doesn't deem those things necessary, and it's not religion that necessarily made it that way. That's how society works best.
Right. But then what's that society based on, then, sir? What's that society based on?
I'm not saying that it's not based on religion. I'm not saying that. Surely there was an.
Well, I think I've done a good enough job, sir, and I appreciate, respect your beliefs. I got to go to break, but I think I've done enough job, sir, or at least put the points out there that at least challenge what you've said, and you might want to rethink your opinions on things, because my question still really isn't answered. Where does right and wrong come from? Where does the moral come from if it's not from some sort of religion?
When I'm not driving, I will reply to you in an email.
I appreciate it. Paul at answer2.us. Folks, got to go to break real fast. Thanks for listening. Back in a sec.